She mocked me in front of the class, so I called her a fucking stupid bitch. Teacher ended up reporting her. My class rep Sarah has been making my life hell since prep courses started. Like, she's one of those people who thinks she's smarter than everyone and needs to remind you about it every 5 seconds. It started small. I'd ask a question in class and she'd do this little laugh and whisper something to her friend. Or I'd get an answer wrong and she'd make this big dramatic sigh like I was wasting everyone's time. The teacher never noticed because Sarah was good at being subtle about it. But then we got put in the same group project. That's when it got worse. Every idea I had, she'd shoot down immediately. She'd literally cut me off mid-sentence and go, yeah, no, that's not gonna work. Then she'd explain my own idea back to me like I was 5 years old, but make it sound slightly different so she could take credit for it. One time I suggested we split the research a certain way and she goes, I don't think you understand how research works. Maybe you should just handle the formatting. The formatting. Like I was too stupid to do actual work. Her whole energy was just, I'm better than you and I need everyone to know it. The condescending comments never stopped. In the hallway, in class, in our group chat, she'd correct my grammar in text messages. She'd make jokes about how I asked too many basic questions. I kept it chill though. I didn't want drama. I just wanted to get through the semester without any problems. Plus Sarah was class rep, so she had this weird power where everyone kind of listened to her. Last week our teacher announced she was changing the seating chart. Everyone had assigned seat numbers. I ended up near the front and Sarah was somewhere in the middle. When we walked into class today, there was this whole mess of people trying to figure out where to sit. I couldn't remember my exact number, so I turned to Sarah, who was standing right next to me, holding her paper with her seat assignment on it. I asked her super politely, hey, what seat number do you have? Just trying to figure out where I'm supposed to go. She looked at me, and I swear to God, she had this nasty smirk on her face. Then she goes really loud so everyone could hear, the chairs are right there. Count them. Don't you know how to count? People turned to look. A couple of kids laughed. Sarah just stood there with her arms crossed, looking so proud of herself, like she'd just delivered the sickest burn ever. Something in my brain just snapped. All those months of her treating me like garbage, all the comments, all the time she made me feel stupid in front of people. I was done. I looked her dead in the eye and said, fucking stupid bitch. I asked what number you had, not if I know how to count. The entire classroom went silent. Like, you could hear the clock ticking. Sarah's face went bright red. She didn't expect me to actually fight back. She just stood there with her mouth open for a second. Then she grabbed her stuff and stormed over to the teacher's desk. She started talking really loud about how I verbally attacked her and called her horrible names for no reason. She was doing that thing where her voice gets all shaky like she's about to cry, trying to make herself look like the victim. The teacher, Mrs. Rodriguez, just sat there listening to her. Then she goes, Sarah, I need you to step outside with me for a minute. They walked out into the hallway and we could hear them talking through the door. Sarah came back in like 5 minutes later. Her eyes were all red and she was actually crying now. She sat down in her seat and didn't say a word for the rest of class. After class, Mrs. Rodriguez pulled me aside. I thought I was about to get destroyed, but instead she goes, I'm not going to write you up. Sarah has been reported for bullying behavior. Multiple students have complained about her attitude and I've witnessed it myself. What you said wasn't appropriate, but I understand why you reacted that way. I just nodded because I didn't know what to say. Mrs. Rodriguez told me Sarah had been acting like she owned the classroom and needed to be put in check. Apparently, I wasn't the only one she'd been treating like garbage. When I got home, I told my mom what happened. I thought she'd be mad that I swore at someone in class, but she just laughed and said, honestly, I would have said worse. At least you stood up for yourself. The next day at school, like 6 different people came up to me. They all said basically the same thing. Thank God someone finally said something to her. She's been acting like that forever. One girl told me Sarah had made her cry last semester by mocking her presentation in front of everyone. Sarah still doesn't talk to me. She barely talks to anyone now, actually. She's a lot quieter in class and she stopped with the condescending comments. At least around me. Was it the most mature way to handle things? Definitely not. Am I proud of swearing at someone? Not really. But watching her get reported instead of me after she tried to play victim, that was the most satisfying moment of my entire school year.